It's one of the hardest things to write, a eulogy for a loved one. So what if you wrote your own and shared it before your time was up? It sounds a little morbid, but for Bradley Dryborough, it's a motivation to appreciate life, even the tough parts. Dealt a difficult hand, he's turned his setbacks into his superpower.
So send me off into the breeze or the sea, so that every time you look at the beauty of the world around you, you are reminded that the boy who wasn't meant to live past his early teens got the gift of 26 years on this beautiful earth. What a blessing it was.
Why did you decide to write your own eulogy?
I thought, I wonder what it would be like to actually share the words that would be shared at your funeral and how that would change the way we live our lives. Live each day in my memory and write your own legacies that will echo in eternity.
I love that you call cystic fibrosis your superpower.
It has been, you know, in so many ways it's allowed me to live in a way in which I feel like I squeeze the juice out of life.
I know plenty of people have written books. So you know how I know this is going to go really well today?
You tell me.
We're in identical outfits. You've got your navy blue knit,
very well,
got our black pants.
We've both got a very good sense of style, let's just put it that way.
How can this go wrong? All right, Bradley, I'm going to start with an easy question. What is the meaning of life?
For me, the meaning of life has just been the people I love, you know, and that's what for me has made it rich. What makes the hard stuff worth fighting for? It's just the people I love.
For as long as he remembers, Bradley Dryborough has been faced with his own mortality. Diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when he was 3 weeks old, a genetic condition that causes damage to the lungs, digestive system and other organs. There's no cure. In 1996, when Brad was born, life expectancy was just 31. What did the doctor tell your parents?
Brad would be better off with a terminal illness that would kill him, or he'd miraculously recover from, because CF will ruin his life. There was no optimism, there was no hope. And you know, for my parents...
They didn't give up, did they?
They didn't.
They didn't accept that?
No, in fact, it was in that moment that they taught me one of the greatest lessons that, you know, they stood up and walked out of his office and said, "You'll never see us or Brad again." And, you know, they went and found a doctor who shared a more optimistic view.
Thankfully, a longer life is now possible for people with CF, but it's rarely an easy ride. At 30, Brad's lungs are permanently damaged and he has liver disease. So I reckon you're taking a lot of pills every day, aren't you?
If I fall over, Ali, I rattle and shake. You know, I'm a sort of 30 tablet a day kind of guy. And so there's a lot of management that goes into me being as well as I am today.
Has it got you down at different points?
It hasn't, no. And from a very early age, I recognise that I'm one of the luckiest people alive.
There hasn't been a moment where you've thought, why me, this sucks, it's not fair?
No, because I don't think life is fair in general. You can't have an easy life and a great character. So I feel like, you know, whilst that all sounds a bit whimsical and, you know, maybe like toxic positivity, you know, I genuinely feel that way. I don't feel that I've been unfairly burdened with a cross I can't carry.
Is toxic positivity a thing?
Apparently.
Is it?
Apparently. You know, I've heard that word tossed around. Thankfully, one of the early...
masculinity, I've heard, sure.
Yeah.
It's an outlook even the luckiest in life rarely possess. The first time that positivity was seriously tested was when Brad was 18, his first lung bleed.
I started to cough really violently and it's hurting my lungs, and I could taste that familiar metallic taste of blood in the mouth, and I knew instantly what it was.
And you'd been told previously if that happens that can lead to death, so you're
Absolutely.
freaking out.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind as I see that blood hit the sink. Within a matter of 60 seconds, we're in the car on our way to Wollongong Emergency.
Did you think you were going to die?
I remember looking at my dad, and the first thing I thought was, is my dad going to see me die in the car? You know, is he going to have to live with the question of, could he have called an ambulance? Would that have helped? It hurt me to think about him having to live with those questions.
And then your brain also turned to your mum and your sister, didn't it?
Yeah, and, you know, wondering whether I'd ever see them again. And I started thinking about all of the dreams left unfulfilled, all of the things that I wanted to do with my life. But it certainly changes your perspective towards life, because I kind of felt a little bit invincible up until that stage.
Yeah.
I felt like CF had kind of, been able to jab me a little bit, but had never really landed a big shot. And now I was like, okay, here's this thing.
Have a nice arvour, hey?
To keep healthy, Brad not only has to stay on top of his cystic fibrosis, he has to outrun it.
I think there's something symbolic about running for people with CF because, the lungs are such a big part of what we experience, big part of the challenge, that for me, it felt like I was taking charge. It's something that I guess that first doctor didn't think I would ever be able to do with my life. I remember that first run, it was it was not ideal. Let me tell you, I didn't save that Strava entry. 800 metres, I felt like I'd, run 800 kilometres.
It's Wednesday morning, attempting 15 Ks.
As someone who always dreams big, Brad was inspired to turn that first effort into 42 kilometres, a marathon to raise money for cystic fibrosis. But about a month out from that, there was a huge setback, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. I'd woken up on a Sunday morning. As soon as I woke up, I felt a heaviness on my chest, followed by the sound of crackling. And I knew that sound all too well. It's a sound that my lungs make when they're about to start bleeding. And we ended up calling an ambulance, and that was probably the most terrified I've been in one of these bleeds. But I remember going to hospital and sitting in the hospital bed and thinking, this is not a bad excuse to fly the white flag.
Because I feel like that's the point where most people go, okay, my body's sending me a message, I'm going to stop.
Correct.
But not Bradley Dryborough.
No, I felt like I knew I'd be cheating myself.
Yeah.
And, I think in life there are things that we have to go through that are very challenging, that are on the other side of it, incredibly defining for our character.
Let's go.
How was it crossing the finishing line?
Incredible feeling. Euphoric, the best feeling of my life. There was a new sense of hope for everyone living with this condition that, one person can achieve it. Maybe I can too. In 26 years, just 1,300 weeks, I truly believe I lived more than I could have ever hoped to in my lifetime.
For such a positive guy, writing his own eulogy may seem out of character. But this moment on Brad's podcast, A Lot to Talk About, changed his life and many others.
Knew that was going to be hard.
So, talk me through writing your own eulogy.
Yeah, it's a daunting task, to think about words that are going to feel so final.
Because it kind of sounds a bit morbid, but it's not to you, is it?
I'm not a morbid person, but the task itself for me is essentially about just reflecting and then recognising the blessing of, hey, if I wake up with air in my lungs and a heartbeat tomorrow, I get to live with that intention.
The clip sparking conversations about what it really means to live.
To my family and friends, I loved you more than life itself, and with you, my love and memory lives on.
It's so beautiful. It's
Thank
so
you.
haunting, but so incredibly beautiful. Yeah. How do you feel when you read it out loud?
I feel proud that there's a few things I mentioned in there that I've been able to since accomplish.
One of them, tying the knot with wife Sophie. I mean, you're good, mate, but she's incredible.
Yeah, I am. I'm very well aware of how far I am punching above my weight.
Like running a marathon, marriage once felt like something Brad would never experience.
There was always a fear for me that this thing would get in the way of, a loving long-term relationship. To find out that the person that you may just fall in love with has this potentially very limiting life with cystic fibrosis. And then I met Soph, and she's the most beautiful and kind-hearted person that I've ever met.
Because fertility can be an issue, can't it, with cystic fibrosis?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not an issue that we can't get around, but it's an issue that will require us to go down the route of IVF. We're hunting down the ability to have kids and really excited about that chapter of our life. And
Can you see yourself as a dad?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's, the thing that I'm most excited for.
Mate, this is so good for the soul. How could you not be happy with this guy? Come here. Come here.
So you reckon we should all write our own eulogy?
Yeah, I think we should. We should at least think about what we value and how we want to live our life, given the blessing of another day.
I mean, you know, you think back to that tiny baby told he wouldn't have a future. You're showing them, aren't you?
Yeah, I really feel I am. And, you know, we're so blessed to have so many people working tirelessly to create cures for conditions like cystic fibrosis. And so I feel that, you know, opportunities are endless. Life is limitless, and, you know, if I'm blessed enough to grow very old with the woman I love and watch some kids grow up, I'll be a very fulfilled man.
He's incredible, isn't he? And he is wise beyond his years. So it comes as no surprise that Brad has written a memoir. At the ripe old age of 30, I wrote my own eulogy. It's available next Tuesday, June 30.